All right, the time is 5:37. We'll go ahead and get started. Just as a reminder to all members, just make sure to unmute your mic. We are recording live, and Spanish interpretation translation services are available.
I'd like to call this regular meeting of the Board of Adjustment to order. Will staff please do roll call?
Chair Hernandez,
Present.
Member Birkenhoff,
Brinker here.
Member Lawful,
Present.
Member Nelson,
Present.
and Member Douglas.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Great, thank you. All right, can I get a motion to approve the February 13th meeting minutes?
I second.
Great, thank you. We have a motion by Board Member Douglas and a second by Board Member Nelson. Please open the electronic voting. All right, looks like we have a yes vote. All right, so we'll go ahead and get those approved. All right, I will now open the first public hearing and ask the city attorney to please announce the first case.
This case is AU 24-0001. Stephen Welsh is requesting a use by permit for a night watchman's quarters in the I-2 medium intensity industrial zoning district for the approximately 0.46 acres property located at 5567 Newport Street.
Thank you. At this time, I will ask Senior Planner Dalton Guerrera to present on behalf of staff.
Good evening, Board. My name is Dalton Guerra, Senior Planner with the Commerce City Planning Division. Tonight we have a use by permit request for a night watchman's quarters at 5567 Newport Street. The zoning is I-2. It is about just under half an acre, and there is an existing industrial building and residential building on site. The existing residential building is the subject building that the request is for to continue operations of a night watchman's quarters. A little case history. In 1995, the property was rezoned from R2 to I2. And then in 1998, there was a use by permit approved to allow a night watchman's quarters on the site. And then again in 2010, another use by permit was approved to allow the continued use of the night watchman's quarters. So again, this use by permit is to allow an existing night watchman's quarters on site to continue operating. The reason being that the ownership of the property has changed. And per the Land Development Code, any ownership change would require a new use by permit to be obtained. It's important to note that there are no changes proposed to the site. There's no changes proposed to the existing building either. Here's a look at the zoning. It's currently I-2, surrounded by I-2, as well as some R2 to the west and the south. Here's a look at the aerial. If you look closely, you can see the two existing buildings, the large industrial building to the west, and then the smaller residential building to the east of the property. And here you can actually see those two buildings. Up close is the residential building that's used as the night watchman's quarters currently, and the industrial warehouse building to the back of the property. The request was reviewed by the development review team and all the necessary agencies. Some considerations: that the proposed use of a night watchman's quarters has existed on the site since 1998. The proposed use is consistent with the comprehensive plan. And the proposed use would help the owner deter any potential theft and vandalism on the property. That would be the intent of having the night watchman's quarters continue to exist on the industrial site. This is a look at the use by permit approval criteria, which is detailed in your staff report. If you'd like to go over any of these individually, staff would be happy to do so. And with that, staff is available for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Guerra. Are there any questions for staff, board members? No. Okay. No questions. Would the applicant now like to address the board? Oh, you did have a question? I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if this is a question for you, Dalton, or the applicant. When did the ownership change?
Based on conversations with the current property owner, it sounded like they acquired the property in 2013.
Okay, all right. So that's when this should have happened?
That's correct.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Stephen Welsh, property owner of 5567 Newport, and I bought the property in 2013, and it's always had somebody in that front building. Since I know it, I didn't even know there was any kind of problem until like a couple months ago. I didn't know you had to have a permit. I just thought it was residential. But having somebody in the house seems to keep people, make it safer around there. That's why I'd like to leave somebody there at all time. The people that are in it now, they work in the day. 12-hour shifts or 7 to 7, so it's working out great. And we've only had two families in 11 years live there. I give them a cheap rent just to keep an eye on the place. So that's about it.
Great, thank you. Any questions from the board?
I don't know if this might be for planning as well, what the original use of the building is and what are you using it for? I know it's zoned industrial, but, what is your business that's going
They're a warehouse. They rebuild starters and alternators
Okay,
back and sell, batteries and stuff like that. or
Okay.
Starters and alternators.
thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Douglas?
Thank you. Are these people like armed night watchmen or?
No, not,
No? Okay. And is there any kind of signage to let people know that there's a night watchman on duty?
no, usually just, cars in the parking lot.
Just having a
stuff that
presence?
shows that somebody's present and,
Thank you.
Any other questions? No. Okay, great. Do any members of the public wish to provide comments on this case? Does not appear so. Is there anyone attending virtually tonight that wishes to speak?
There is not.
Thank you. All right. So does somebody want to make a motion? Somebody want to make a motion?
I move that the Board of Adjustment enter a finding that the requested use.
Sorry to jump in here. So I think we've got to close the public hearing
Oh, okay.
formally.
My apologies. All right.
And just to be
Yep, then-
clear, if there are any questions that you have for either the applicant or for staff, you would do it now prior to the formal closing of the hearing.
Any additional questions? I don't have any. Okay, great. At this time, I now close the public hearing for this case. Can I get a motion?
Let's try again. I move that the Board of Adjustment enter a finding that the requested use by permit for the property located at 5567 Newport Street, contained in case AU 24-0001, meet the criteria of the Land Development Code, and based on such findings, approve the use by permit.
second?
I second.
Great. We have a motion by Board Member Brinkerhoff and a second by Board Member Nelson. Is there any discussion from the board?
So thank you. I really want to thank the applicant for his due diligence in making sure that this process is done. And I think it's great that you're providing someone housing, you know, to, it plays a dual purpose, but it also provides housing for someone as well as protecting your property. So I do want to tell you, thank you for coming through and going through the process with us. Thank you.
All right, please open the electronic voting. Okay, looks like we have 5 yeses, so the vote is a yes.
Thank you.
Is there any board member business to discuss at this time? Board Member LaFleur?
I just wanted to bring up one thing that previous board member Bob Benzel 2 weeks ago celebrated his 90th birthday. And he's
Wow.
doing great.
Wow,
That's it.
great, thank you, thank you. Any other? Great, thank you. All right, is there any attorney business to discuss at this time?
I can just quickly say, my name is Lee Zarzecki. I'm the new city attorney. I don't think I've had the pleasure of meeting all of you. Certainly, if any of you have questions or issues arise in your role on the Board of Adjustment, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to give you my email address after this hearing or after this meeting. And also, we have an outstanding position for a senior land use attorney, which we will be filling as soon as we can. That individual will, part of their job description will be to be in this seat. So if you see a different face next time you have a hearing, that's why. Thank you all.
Thank you. Is there any staff business to discuss at this time?
Hello, board members. I wanted to introduce a new staff member to you all. Ms. Heather Vidlock with us tonight is a new principal planner, and she will be working with you all quite often in the future. So I just wanted to introduce you all to her. This is her second day with the city, so we're excited that she could come tonight and join our team.
Great, welcome, thank you. All right, thank you for the updates. The time is now 6:50 p.m. and the meeting is adjourned. Oh, excuse me, 5:50, my apologies. The time is now 5:50 and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.